Welcome to the show. In this episode, we're taking this one again to food. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification so you're the first to know when a new episode drops. And give us a like so we know what sort of content you're enjoying. Let's dive right in. Why do we say a square meal? Have you ever wondered? It's something I've always wondered, but haven't really looked into. So in this episode, let's quickly take a look at why we actually say that. As delicious as Cheez-Its and White Castle burgers may be, this square meal phrase has little to do with the shape of food. When you were young, you were likely taught about the importance of eating 3 square meals a day. But you probably never learned why it's called a square meal. This phrase has little to do with the shape of food or the platter on which it's served. Rather, it relates to the meaning of square when it's an adjective, not a noun. Those English fanatics, follow with me here. It describes something as being equal or balanced. Leave a comment below if you use square in those sort of circumstances or meanings, right? Equal or balanced, square. First, we'd be remiss if we didn't dispel a common myth. An oft-perpetuated theory is that square meal comes from the square wooden platters food was served on in the Royal Navy. But according to linguist Gary Martin, there's no direct evidence to support this tenuous idea, and it's likely just a folktale. The concept of a square meal has to do with the word square itself, which can be defined as fair or properly arranged. This means the square meals are balanced to provide nourishing and adequate sustenance, rather than haphazardly thrown together, i.e., eating just a protein bar for lunch because you don't have enough time, per se. Or for example, think of a square meal as having protein, veggies, fruits, carbs, and other elements that make it evenly balanced in the eyes of any nutritionist. Quick quiz. Which do you think you can live longer without? Food or water? Leave your comments down below. Would be interesting to see what people think. However, what makes up a square meal today doesn't match what it meant at the time of the phrase's origination. The concept of a square meal dates to the early 19th century, and it was often used with regard to miners, troops, and mountaineers who didn't always have ready access to fresh foods or cooking equipment. So, an 1863 book about agriculture and mining in California defines a square meal as a good meal at a table, as distinguished from such meals as men make when they are short of provisions, a condition not uncommon among men who make adventurous trips into the mountains. So mountaineers often had to make do with what little they had on hand during their trek. So sitting down for a good square meal at an actual table was a treat. All that is to say that enjoying a square meal or 3 each day should leave you feeling satisfied, especially compared to eating a less balanced meal that leaves you feeling sluggish or still hungry. Very interesting. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. We'd like to hear from you. That brings us to the end of this episode. Please like and subscribe. As always, head over to buymeacoffee.com/SamsonKing to support the channel. We appreciate it, and thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.